They told you the world would end. December, the year 2012. The whole planet held its breath. Newspapers screamed it. Films were built around it. Talk shows argued about it for months. People sold everything they owned. Some dug shelters deep into the earth. Some fled to the mountains. Some gave away their savings. Some said goodbye to everyone they loved. And some simply waited for the sky to fall. And then the day came. And nothing happened. The sun rose. The clocks kept turning. The world did not burn. And everyone laughed. A silly prophecy. A dead culture. A primitive mistake. They moved on. They forgot. But here is the truth they buried under all that laughter. The Maya never said the world would end. Not once. Not in a single carving. Not in a single word. Someone else said it. And the real message, the one cut into stone over 1,000 years ago, is far stranger and far more disturbing than any apocalypse you were ever promised. Because the Maya were not afraid of the future. They were afraid of something they remembered. Something written in their oldest books. Something carved into their darkest temples. A pattern. A rule. A law older than the gods themselves. And by the time this is over, you will understand why. You will wish you had never asked. Deep in the jungles of Mexico, there are stones. Stones older than empires. Older than the men who study them today that Maya did not write on paper. They wrote on time itself. They built a calendar so precise it could track the movement of the heavens across thousands of years. They measured the path of Venus, the turning of the stars, the slow breath of the moon. They counted days the way we count heartbeats. While other civilizations were still guessing at the seasons, the Maya were charting eternity, and they called the great cycle the Long Count. But the Long Count did not measure days, it measured ages, great cycles of creation, each one beginning, each one ending, each one beginning again. The cycle that frightened the modern world was simply one of these, a door closing and another opening, a turning, not a death. The number that terrified us was just the odometer of the universe rolling over. The Maya were not counting, down to the end of everything. They were counting toward a return, but a return of what? That is the question no one wanted to ask. Because to the Maya, every return carried a price, and the price was always paid in blood. So why did they care so much about the end of a single cycle? Because the Maya believed something terrifying. They believed the world had already ended before, not once, but many times. Their sacred book, the Popol Vuh, tells of earlier humanities, people the gods made and then erased. The first were shaped from mud. They could not stand. They could not speak. They dissolved back into the earth like a dream forgotten at dawn. The second were carved from wood. They walked. They spoke. They built cities, but they had no souls, no memory, no gratitude. They did not honor the ones who made them, and so the gods sent a great flood and wiped them away. Their own tools rose up against them. Their own animals turned on them. Even the rain became a blade. Each failed creation, each destroyed without mercy. The Maya looked at this story and understood something cold. They did not fear the future. They feared repetition. They believed the gods were never satisfied, that every world was only a draft, and every draft could be torn up and thrown into the fire. The world could be unmade again, at any turning, and no warning would be given. No thunder, no sign, no final mercy, only silence, and then nothing at all, except to those who had learned to read the sky. So they watched the sky like prisoners watch a door. Every star, every shadow, every eclipse, they recorded all of it in stone, desperate to read the will of the gods. They raised temples that aligned with the sun on a single day of the year. They built observatories without glass, without lenses, without anything but patience and stone. They tracked comets across the dark and called them messengers. They believed the gods were always speaking, and that silence was the most dangerous answer of all. For if the gods went quiet, it meant a decision had already been made, and in one ruined city, Tortuguero, they left a single carved warning, a monument. We call it Monument 6. It speaks of the end of the cycle, and it names a being, a god who would descend when the count ran out, a dark presence from the sky. And then the stone breaks, the edges are shattered, the carving simply stops. The most important part of the message, the part that tells us what happens next, is gone, lost, or hidden, or broken on purpose. We have the warning. We have the date, we do not have the ending, and that is the part no scholar likes to talk about, because a warning without an ending is the most frightening thing of all. This is where the lie was born. The myth of the ending did not crawl out of the jungle. It came from us, from books, from films, from men who could not read a single glyph. They saw a calendar reach the end of a cycle, and they imagined fire. They sold fear by the millions, and called it ancient wisdom. They put words in the mouths of the dead, but the Maya saw something else entirely. They saw the wheel keep turning. The truth is simpler and colder. The Maya are not warning us about a single day of fire and thunder. They are warning us about what they remembered. That worlds do not always end in flame, that worlds end quietly, that the gods grow tired of their creations, and that the next turning is already counting down. We were so busy, laughing at a date that never burned, that we never stopped to ask what the broken stone was trying to say. We laughed at the warning. We never read it, and maybe that was exactly the point. Maybe forgetting was always the first sign. Maybe the wheel does not announce itself. Maybe it simply turns while everyone is looking away. Somewhere in that jungle, a stone still waits, its message broken, its god unnamed, and the cycle the Maya feared has only just begun. They did not predict the end of the world. They predicted something worse. They predicted that we would forget, that we would laugh, that we would look away, that we would mistake a warning for a joke. And we did, exactly as they said we would. So the next time someone smiles and calls it a dead prophecy, ask them one simple question. What happens when the wheel turns again? And what was carved on the part of the stone that is missing? Because the Maya left us the warning. They carved it with care. They aligned it with the stars. They trusted that someone, one day, would understand. They simply did not live long, enough to finish it, and neither, perhaps, will we. The count is still running. It has never stopped, not for a single day, and no one is left who knows how to read it. The stone is patient, the jungle is silent, and the stone is still waiting.